Hello, everyone. My name again is Abiodun. I I decided to do this video because of a particular video that came my way. Um, Actually, this have to do with immigration and doing the right thing in whichever country you migrate to. And even if you intend to do the right thing, make sure that whoever is trying to help you is also helping you in the right way. My YouTube channel is primarily for abuse, men and women abuse, but sometimes I get to have immigration questions because of my immigration experiences. So this video, like I said, came my way, and it has to do with a young Kenyan man who came to the US to study. And someone said he can get enlisted in the US military and he will get immigration benefit and also get to go to school for free. And then he would also become a US citizen. Unfortunately, the enlistment was illegal. The young man was deported. I don't want to say the whole story. Just watch the video right here. Thank you.
I'm Katie Lagrone. They came to our country to serve and protect for the promise of becoming U.S. citizens. But some veterans tell me America abandoned them, and one says he was even deported. Speaking to us from an apartment in San Diego, David Bario's American story
I came here to further my education.
Began more than 2 decades ago and nearly 10,000 miles away.
I was born in Nairobi, Kenya.
In 1998, Bario came to America on a student visa. While here, he says, he was persuaded by an Army recruiter to enlist, promising him free school and U.S. citizenship.
I was like, okay, that's interesting.
Bario joined, serving in the Army and eventually the Air Force Reserves.
For the love of serving the country, for the love of defending the Constitution.
But by 2007, Bario says he was forced to leave the military after his recruiter was court-martialed and found guilty of unlawfully enlisting African national students, among them Bario. While Army discharge papers he provided us show he was honorably discharged for an erroneous entry, Army investigative records he also provided us appear to detail how Bario was one of dozens of Kenyan students recruited in a fraudulent enlistment scheme.
My recruiter was fraudulently recruiting internationals to meet his quota, a recruiting quota.
We reached out to the Army about the case and have not heard back. But what happened to Bario after he left the military inspired him to talk about it publicly.
It's difficult to explain what reasoning they used to justify my deportation.
Bario, who thought he was legally enlisted when he joined the military, was stripped of his military certification and VA card and deported back to Kenya. But not before he says he also spent a year detained in a Texas migrant detention center.
I don't know if they were trying to make me give up. I don't know if they were trying to radicalize me and make me fight the system or say bad things about the United States.
Bario is among an unknown number of U.S. veterans who honorably served in America's armed forces but then got deported without the American citizenship and other benefits they claim they were promised.
This problem is so big that the federal government itself doesn't even know the scope of the problem.
The rarely talked about issue highlighted by the Veterans Law Practicum at UC Berkeley in this recent report titled Broken Promises.
Despite being required to do so, they are not tracking the number of veterans they deport. There are requirements in place saying that military service is supposed to be taken into account during immigration proceedings. That rule has not been followed.
When asked for a response about deported veterans and the allegations of broken citizenship promises they face, the Department of Defense referred us to the Veterans Administration, who told us in a lengthy email they are working with the Department of Homeland Security to, quote, identify and prioritize the return of current and former U.S. military members who were removed from the United States. and helping them access benefits including immigration and naturalization assistance.
This is a veteran issue, it's not an immigration issue, because we were veterans when we got deported.
In 2022, 14 years after he was deported, Bario was allowed back into America through a new government program for deported veterans. A few months later, he finally got the U.S. citizenship he says he was promised by that recruiter decades earlier.
It was overdue. I was happy.
Today, the dad of two is going to school to become a nurse. He's also co-founder of a support group for deported veterans, hoping his story raises awareness about a problem facing some who come to this country to defend it, but are ignored when they need the saving.
Deported veterans are dying across the borders. They know about us, but when you're trying to get back the legal way, we have so many blockades, it becomes a complicated mess.
While Bario has his legal status, he's still fighting for the GI benefits he was promised, which would help him pay for school. But despite everything he's been through, he tells me he considers himself a proud American. I'm Katie LaGrone reporting.